Okay, so here we are in our last section that we're going to learn. Describe angle-pair relationships. Well, the first one is adjacent angles. You heard me mention that before. Adjacent just means they're right next to each other. Notice the ray OB. Angle AOB and angle BOC both share OB, ray OB. That means they're adjacent. They share a common vertex and a side, but have no common interior points. I'll show you what I mean more in class because it's better if you can see a visual with colors. But basically, angle AOC, the large angle, and any of the small angle like AOB are not adjacent because angle AOB then is sitting on angle AOC's lap. They have to be right next to each other, sharing a common side, which is angle OB and a vertex. Nothing in between. Complementary angles. Complementary angles are angles that are only two angles that add to equal 90 degrees. They don't have to be adjacent. They could be detached from each other. They could be separate. But there's only two, not just one. So a right angle is not complementary. It's two angles that form a right angle or add to equal 90. There's an example. Angle 1 and 2 are adjacent. They form 90-degree angle. 3 and 4, if I was to measure them, are also complementary, but they're non-adjacent. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angles, just like complementary angles, have to have two angles. Their sum adds up to equal 180 degrees. So a straight angle, even though it equals 180, is not supplementary. You have to have two angles. A straight angle is single. So two angles that add up to equal 180. And again, they do not have to be adjacent. So here is an example of supplementary angles that are adjacent. Notice there are two angles, angle 5 and 6, but they form that straight line that they're sitting on, that the ray shares. That makes 180 degrees. 7 and 8, if I was to measure them, notice one's obtuse, one's acute, also adds up to equal 180. They are supplementary. There's also one other pair that I didn't show, which are two 90-degree angles, two right angles. So 90 plus 90 would also equal 180. So now in this one, I want you to name a pair of complementary angles and a pair of supplementary angles, and then also a pair of adjacent angles. Now, I don't want you to sit there and automatically push the next one or wait for me. So try it on your own. Stop the slide. See if you can do it. Remember to name an angle by 3 letters with the vertex being in the middle. So here's our pairs. Let's look at them. F, G, K. So G is the vertex, which means it's representing the 41 because that's between the F and K. F, G, K. And then G, K, L, where K is the vertex and 49 is between the line segment KG and the ray KL. So 41 and 49, what do they add up to equal? 90 degrees. So there's a pair of complementary angles. Notice they are not adjacent. Even though it looks like they're sharing kg, they're not, because they have to be right next to each other like the 41 and the 131 would be. So therefore, they are non-adjacent, but they are complementary. Now let's look at HGK. G is the vertex. We're talking about the angle between the H and the K, so that's 131. HGK. And GKL. GKL, remember, is just like the other one we had, which is 49 degrees. So 49 and 131 adds to equal 180. So they are supplementary, but they are non-adjacent because they're not sharing the same vertex and the same line. 131 has a vertex of G, 49 has a vertex of K. And the last one, notice G both represents the vertex, FGK and HGK. So they both share the same vertex and they both share the same line segment, GK, GK. So FGK and HGK are adjacent angles. Now this one you're going to have to do on your own. I'm not going to show you the work until we get into class, but they are complementary angles. Complementary angles. You have to remember what that means because this is another way to set up an equation to solve mathematically. So think of it visually. We have measurement angle LMN and we have measurement angle PQR. Notice they have no vertex in common. So these are two separate angles, but they add to equal what? That's the key. Take a few moments, stop the slide, see if you can do it. I'm not going to show the work, but I will give the answer. Okay, so to solve this problem, again, they're complementary. Complementary are two angles that add to equal 90. So I would take 4x minus 2 plus 9x plus 1 equals 90, and I would solve. Then it says find the measure of the angle. So all you did was find x. So you would have to substitute it back in for both of them, and they should add to equal 90. So your answers, hopefully you got 26 for angle LMN and 64 for PQR. And when you add them, they do equal 90. Now this is a word problem from algebra. We have an angle is 6 more than twice the supplement. Find the angle. So remember, supplementary angles are two angles. So you have one angle and you have another angle, and together they add to equal 180. Now one of the angles is 6 more than twice the other. Now hopefully you kind of remember your algebra here. If you don't, let x equal the other angle and use x to write your other statement for 6 more than twice that angle. Take a few moments. If you need to, stop the slide. Now I do go through this one with you. Okay, so I said it's two angles that add to equal 180. So I have measurement angle A plus measurement angle B equals 180. Now I'm going to go ahead and let measurement angle B be 180 minus measurement angle A. Makes sense, right? Because the other one's is the supplement of the other. So now I substitute in. Remember I said let x be one of the angles? So I'm going to let x be measurement angle B. That means measurement angle A is 180 minus x. But I haven't really did the problem yet. All I did was deal with supplementary. I haven't dealt with one of them is 6 more than twice. So now I'm going to use that. So I have 2 times the quantity, 180 minus x, because that's the supplement. 180 minus x is the supplement of the other angle x. And it's 6 more, so it's plus 6. Now I go ahead and distribute my 2. And then I combine like terms. And then I add 2x to both sides. And then divide. So my x is 122. Now that was the angle I was finding because I already determined that measurement angle B was going to be the angle that was 2 times the supplement, the other, and 6 more. So it's 122. I'll show you another way in class that you can do this if you prefer. Okay, here we go with another one. Find the measures of 2 supplementary angles if the measure of one angle is 6 less than 5 times the other angle. So on this one, they want both angles. Again, it's 2 angles that add to equal 180. One of the angles is 6 less than 5 times the other. Take a few moments, see if you can do this problem. Again, if you're not ready, please stop the slide. Because this one I don't work out, I just give you the answers. But if you need help in it, I will do it in class. 149. Oh, I didn't give you the other one. Well, you know, all you have to do is take 180 minus 149 now. But this angle, again, how you did it verbally, is all you did was do x equals 5 times the quantity, 180, minus x, minus, in the close parentheses, and then minus 6. And solve for x, and you get 149. And then you can take 180 minus 49. Vertical angles. Vertical angles are your other type of angles. And we'll discuss vertical angles quite a bit in chapter 2, but right now you just have to at least know what they look like. So 2 angles are vertical angles if their sides form 2 pairs of opposite rays. That means we're dealing with 2 lines that are intersecting, forming like an X. There you go. But which angles are vertical? Well, the ones that are opposite each other. Kind of like I'm kissing you. My lips are the vertex. Angle 1 and angle 3 are kissing each other. 4 and 2 are kissing each other. Those are where the vertex meets. So 1 and 3 is your vertical angles. 4 and 2 are your vertical angles. Now, linear pair. Linear pair are adjacent angles. Now, notice the word linear. Linear has the word line in it. So they form a line. Their non-common side has to be opposite rays to form a line. So it's 2 angles that form a line, which means ultimately they equal 180, which means they're supplementary. But a linear pair are adjacent. 5 and 6 are linear pair. 2 angles that form a straight angle. On the other picture prior, 1 and 2 is also linear. 2 and 3 is linear. 3 and 4 is linear. 1 and 4 are linear because they're all adjacent and form a straight line as well. Okay, now you're going to be answering some questions using this diagram. And we're going to use the same diagram throughout these questions. Are 2 and 3 a linear pair? All you have to do is answer yes or no. I'll give an explanation, but yes or no. What do you think? No. Notice they don't form a straight line. There's not opposite rays. That one's crooked. Okay, next one. 3 and 4 are a linear pair. Yes! Notice it forms a straight line. If you get rid of that 1 and 2, it's easier to see. Are 1 and 3 vertical angles? No! Remember, it still has to be opposite rays. That one next to the 1 and the 2 is crooked. No! Same reason. The one next to the 1 and 2 is crooked. Has to be opposite rays. Can't have crooked. Now, these two you're going to do on your own. And again, I'm going to ask you in class how to do these. So you're going to find measurement angle EFH. Now, when you answer in class, do not just give me the answer, because I'm going to give you the answer. I instead want to know how to solve it. So take a look at it, and these are the questions I'm going to ask you. Again, I'm going to give you the answer, but I want you to really try it on your own because you're going to try it in class. So take a few moments if you need to. Stop the video, see if you can do it to get the correct answer. "96. Hope you got it. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to get it because, again, I'm going to ask you in class. Try to figure it out. Think of the picture. What did it form? All right, the next one. Find measurement angle ABC. Again, stop the video if you need to. "36. How did you get that one? Think about it. Think about that little box there. What did it form, those two angles? Because again, in class tomorrow, I'm going to ask you.